Ever feel like you're doing everything right, but still not getting the results you want? You say the right things, you're polite, you're engaging, yet something's missing. The connection just doesn't ignite. What if the key wasn't in your words, but in something far more subtle? There's a psychological element, almost invisible, that fundamentally shifts how you're perceived. It's not about money, looks, or a rehearsed routine. It's about what your silent presence communicates on a subconscious level. Master this, and your interactions transform. Miss it, and you'll keep feeling like you're chasing something just out of reach. This is the unspoken trigger. It's the reason someone can feel drawn to you without being able to explain why. If this resonates, share it with a friend who might need to hear it. It could change his entire approach. Let's break it down from the beginning. Most believe attraction is built through dialogue. But the real decision often happens in the silence before you speak. In the way you enter a space, how you hold eye contact, the stillness in your posture. There's a whole conversation happening without a single word. If you don't know how to navigate that silent space, you've already lost her attention. This is where nonverbal authority comes into play. A person's mind operates on layers. You're not just talking to the surface, you're communicating with the instinctive, subconscious layer. That part doesn't respond to clever lines. It responds to certainty, calm, and grounded energy. When a man walks into a room anchored in this way, people notice. The energy shifts. They feel it before they process it. This isn't manipulation. It's alignment. When you operate from your own genuine center, without seeking validation, you become magnetic. That's the silent yes. You'll see it in body language, a lean inward, longer eye contact, engaged laughter. That's not about charm, it's a subconscious response. Here's the twist, most are too in their own head to ever notice this happening. They walk away from conversations thinking, I checked all the boxes, so what went wrong? They followed a script but forgot the energetic pull that makes someone feel your presence. People connect with what makes them feel, not just what makes sense. If there's no inner stability, no compelling energy, there's no spark. Think about this, the harder you try to convince with logic, the less impact you often have. Meanwhile, the person who speaks less, but owns the room with calm assurance, often creates the most intrigue. They operate through quiet confidence. It's in the steady eye contact, the comfortable pauses, the ability to be fully present without fidgeting. That individual isn't chasing, they're inviting. And others feel the gravity of that self-contained energy. You're not trying to impress. You're letting someone observe you in your element. That's the difference. Most operate from a place of need. The exceptional operate from a place of inner foundation. This requires emotional regulation, not suppression, but the power of purposeful restraint. People don't need you to over-explain. They need to feel your composure. They respond to behavioral precision, moving with intention. They say, yes, because they trust what they feel, not just what they hear. Here's a metaphor, think of a person as a receiver of energy. They don't just respond to your words, they respond to the charge behind them. Anxiety, neediness. That's what they feel. Calm, centered boldness. They sense that instantly. Attraction becomes a subconscious desire response, coded deep in our psychology. Picture this, someone meets two people. One is agreeable, eager to please. The other is quietly assured, minimally verbal but fully present. Who lingers in their mind? The second. Why? They triggered a subconscious attraction. They didn't perform, they anchored. Their presence silently communicates, I'm not here to win you over. I am already complete. That creates a powerful psychological contrast. It's not arrogance. It's self-possession. The most charged moments often live in the silence. That split second of held eye contact where everything is said without a word. That's unspoken influence. That's where the real connection happens. Most rush to fill it with noise. Don't. Let the tension breathe. Let curiosity build. Your ability to hold space calmly is more powerful than any rehearsed line. Let's get practical. On an interaction, leaning in too far, talking too fast, or interrupting can signal neediness and instability. It whispers that your inner foundation is shaky. Instead, try speaking 20% less. Pause before you answer. Hold a gaze for an extra moment. These aren't cheap tricks, they are reflections of your detachment from a specific outcome. And that is compelling. Why? Because people unconsciously test for mental fortitude. Want to practice? Next time you're in conversation, slow everything down. Breathe deeply. Lower your vocal tone. Notice how your nonverbal authority increases without you having to do anything. People will lean in. Why? Because most rush, frantic to impress. When you slow down, you stand out. You're not reacting to their world, you're inviting them into yours, a space governed by calm and confidence. This path isn't about becoming someone else. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself you may have softened or silenced. The authentic power that doesn't need applause. The man who understands this lives with behavioral precision. And that's magnetic. Here's the paradox: the less you try to make someone say yes, the more they might want to. True value isn't loud, it's felt. The person who owns their time, moves with purpose, and doesn't flinch when challenged becomes deeply attractive. Not because they asked for attention, but because they radiated a quiet influence. That's the person people choose, often without knowing why. Every person you meet is unconsciously sensing for leadership, not control, but calm direction. A person with direction doesn't seek permission, they've already chosen themselves. And that is inherently drawing. It's not the words. It's the certainty. Certainty in tone, in pace, in who they are. So, what if you've been doing the opposite? Good. Awareness is the first step. Transformation begins at the edge of discomfort. From today, observe how you move, speak, and hold space. Let your presence be the loudest thing in the room. Let your silence carry weight. This rewires your nervous system to handle tension with grace. This shifts everything. It's not about being an alpha. It's about embodiment. People are drawn to energy. The energy of someone rooted in their inner foundation, shaped by resilience, and refined by self-control. That energy feels different. It doesn't seek external validation. That self-certainty is rare. And that rarity makes people lean in. Let this sink in: the person who inspires a yes without an obvious reason isn't performing. They're present. They're grounded. They understand the subconscious psychology at play but don't dance for approval. They trust that the weight of their composed silence speaks louder than the crowd's noise. And because of that, others open up. Not because they should, but because they want to. You're starting to see it, right? This isn't about memorizing lines. It's about stepping into a version of yourself that most never access. If this is clicking for you, don't let the insight fade. Tap that like button below, it helps others find this content. Now, you might be realizing that much of what you've heard about attraction was incomplete. The real key isn't a tactic. It's about being the kind of person whose presence communicates enough. This is lived truth. And when you operate from it, the results speak for themselves. You'll see it in their eyes, feel it in the energy. So stop asking, what do I say? Start asking, what am I communicating when I say nothing? That question leads you to everything. Start today. Watch your energy. Observe reactions when you hold space instead of fill it. Practice at the coffee shop, in a meeting. That's how you build unspoken influence. The result? They'll feel it. And when they feel it, the answer is often already yes. This is your invitation. Step out of the noise. Step into the quiet confidence of your own authentic power. You don't need their yes. And that's precisely why it often comes. In a world full of people trying too hard, you become the one others can feel before they understand why. That is the subtle psychological detail that changes everything. Now that you see it, you'll move through the world differently. What kind of energy are you bringing into the room? Are you chasing approval, or are you becoming the person who commands presence through calm assurance? If you want to go deeper on mastering this inner foundation and its external impact, make sure you're part of this community. Subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. We're just getting started, and there's much more to unpack. I want to hear from you. What's one moment where you didn't need words, but everything was communicated? Drop that story in the comments below, just type, "No words needed." Let's see who's truly integrating this. If this perspective opens something up for you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with a friend who needs this shift in perspective. It might be exactly what he needs to see. Thanks for reading all the way through. Your time and attention are valued. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Let's continue building together.